Yo, what's up YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2019 Baek Battles. Today we are going to be using Kazuki's top 4 Worlds team. Once again with Yveltal, Groudon, Tapu Koko, Metagross, Incineroar, and Mimikyu. If you haven't checked out the last episode, I highly recommend go checking it out. And if you want to go see Kazuki's team report or follow him on Twitter, I'll link those in the description down below. But otherwise, the common question of today as we find some games is, what is your favorite Z move and Z move animation? So my favorite Z move would probably be Como's, if it's the custom Z moves we're talking about. And also Alternate Cosmos is pretty good as well. And then I think it would either be between the Bug Z move or the Ice Z move that I actually really enjoy. We're going to find our first opponent with a team of Rayquaza, Kyogre, Tapu Koko, Gengar, the Ferrothorn, and Incineroar. Pretty standard team. This team got a top 8 at the IC in Germany in the beginning of the format. So let us see how I want to approach this. I think it's alright. We have Yveltal, which is pretty nice against Kyogre, but we have the Tapu Koko, which is of course a problem. Metagross does do pretty well against this team in general. It's just like the Tapu Koko's the Pokemon I'm most scared about dealing with. I had to bring Groudon on this matchup. Did I bring Incin? Probably not, I'd say. I like Yveltal as a lead. Do I? I think Yveltal Tapu Koko is fine. Metagross and Groudon on the back. I don't see a reason to bring Mimikyu as much here. Okay, I don't think my opponent would even bring Ferrothorn. What would he bring here? I think it's Tapu Koko, Rayquaza, Kyogre, and Incin most likely. I just don't see bringing Gengar. Yeah, that's what I assume. Because I don't think Gengar is good against a Yveltal and Groudon team. And the fact is, Ferrothorn just doesn't do much here in this matchup against like the Metagross, the Groudon, and the Incineroar. Even though I'm not going to bring Incineroar, I mean, it's still not that great. Unless I brought Trick Room. But I feel like you would rather use Incineroar and you're restricted to overpower the Trick Room that I have. So we'll see what my opponent decides to do. Yveltal Tapu Koko will lead. But I'm not expecting Gengar in this matchup. We're going to see the Rayquaza Tapu Koko, which is kind of expected here. I think I'm pretty okay with this because I could go for the Z move into Rayquaza if I really want to. Right off the bat. And if it's not Berry, I just get a huge punish off here. I could go Groudon here for the Yveltal in case I'm worried about Twinkle Tackle or the Electrium. But the problem is Rayquaza could double up with a Waterfall if it really wants to. So, I don't think I really want to risk my Yveltal though. I think Yveltal's just so good in this matchup. I think it's just worth going to Groudon though. And we'll go for the Guardian. Actually, I could protect Electroweb. That isn't a bad play either, because it covers a lot of options too. Yeah, I'm going to protect Electroweb actually turn 1. I just don't see a reason not to. If the Rayquaza Swords Dance, I can foul play the following turn, or at least threaten the foul play. We'll see what my opponent decides to go for here. As there is no Mega Evolution, which is interesting. So that either indicates my opponent wants to keep the airlock on the field. Or just wants... or maybe has Gengar in the back and wants to save the Mega Evolution for the Gengar. Nature's Madness is going to come out. Tar down the Tapu Koko slots. So smart play from my opponent's side. It looks like it's a support Tapu Koko. And... oh, Tailwind. Okay. That makes the game a bit more interesting here. Yeah, that definitely makes this game interesting. Tailwind is not something I really expected here. That means I should have probably went for foul play. Maybe it was a bit too obvious, but I didn't want to make a risk. I think switching out into Groudon is fine here, and I kind of actually just want to go for another Electroweb. I think I will make that play. I just don't want to get caught up with a Nature's Madness and a Dragon Scent into the Yveltal slot, so I'd rather just go Groudon here and risk it. I think it's fine too. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a tougher position, but we'll see what my opponent does here. We don't know what kind of Tapu Koko that my opponent's set is. So it could be a Assault Vest, could be like the Tapunium Z, like our set. You have no idea realistically. I do want to bring Groudon in as Extreme Speed coming out into Tapu Koko. That's not going to KO. Yeah. But it's a Dazzling Gleam, okay. So Dazzling Gleam, which is not on the Assault Vest set usually, so I'm guessing it's Z move. Huh. I just realistically don't know what set these Pokemon are. I could go Metagross here or Yveltal. I think I go Metagross here. Because Iron Head is going to threaten a lot of damage into Rayquaza. And Tapu Koko doesn't really threaten much offense here. So I'll bring in the Metagross. I'll go for an Earth Power, I think, in a Tapu Koko. I just gotta hope my opponent can't get a knockout this turn. I think if it's Tailwind, maybe it's Dragon Scent, Extreme Speed, Tailwind, Protect. So I think I'm gonna go for an Earth Power here and just Iron Head the Rayquaza slot. Then next turn, I could go for a double Protect to stall out the last turn Tailwind. But we're gonna see the Mega Evolution from Rayquaza. I don't know Dragon Scent will KO my Groudon after Nature's Madness because this Groudon is pretty bulky, but of course there is a potential Z move from the Koko that we can see here. So, yeah, this could be pretty rough here. Let's see what's going to happen here. We will Mega Evolve our Metagross, and let's see what my opponent's going to go for. It is going to be a Madness, targeting down the Metagross? No, the Groudon, yep. Let's see if Dragon Scent KOs. I don't think it should at this range. But then again, +2 usually KOs a Groudon guaranteed. So this probably can. Let's see. It does. I should have maybe... Should I have protected Groudon? Maybe. I was worried about Tapunium Z there. But I think it's still not a bad spot. I'm going to get the KO onto the Rayquaza here. Or not. It activates Berry. I think that's fine though. I'll go Yveltal here, and I think I'm just gonna protect Yveltal and try to knock out the Tapu Koko if I want a chance at this game. Yeah. Yeah, this game hasn't exactly gone that great. I don't think we're in the worst spot possible, but it's definitely not the greatest spot. I'm gonna protect Yveltal and hope my opponent is just gonna go on the offense into the Yveltal slot. And I'm just going to go for a Stomping Tantrum and hope I can knock out the Tapu Koko right here. Because if I get rid of Tapu Koko, it kind of helps. We'll see what my opponent really decides to do here, though. As well, Protect. Extreme Speed going to come out, actually, into the Yveltal slot. And a Z-move is going to come out, so... I can't tell if it's Twinkle Tackle or Guardian of Alola. I'm pretty sure this is Twinkle Tackle. It should be Twinkle Tackle, right? Yeah, so my opponent wanted the Extreme Speed and Twinkle Tackle and hoped to knock out the Yveltal. So luckily, I do get one play right in this game. And Yveltal probably going to take some chip, but it's not going to be like a KO, which is really big here. The problem is I don't know how I'm going to KO the Incineroar afterward. Like, the Incineroar is going to be a bit of a problem here. The Stomping Tantrum will come out into the Tapu Koko slot, and we'll be able to pick up a knockout there. So... that's one positive. The Rayquaza is also Electrowebbed, so since Tailwind is over, I outspeed with both my Pokemon. And since it has a defense drop, I'm pretty sure Iron Head or Foul Play should be able to get the Rayquaza. So Gengar are going to be revealed here. So it is a Gengar, which can't Mega Evolve, which is huge actually. I'm going to go for the Snarl here into these Pokemon. And... I just Bullet Punch the, I'm just curious. I feel like I should Bullet Punch Snarl here. In cases like Destiny Bond on the Gengar. I'm gonna do it, actually. I'm gonna Bullet Punch Snarl. Because I think that should pick up a knockout. If it doesn't protect. It does protect, though, which does change things. But I think that's fine. Let's see what the Gengar goes for. I'm hoping... it might be Icy Wind, though, actually. No, it is Destiny Bond. Okay. Which is fine. I'll definitely take Destiny Bond. I can go for a Foul Play into the Gengar slot the following turn. And then I can Bullet Punch the Gengar after I protect the following turn. Yeah, because Snarl doesn't knock out the Gengar. Which is good here. Because now I can Foul Play the Rayquaza slot and protect the Metagross. You can Destiny Bond again. I guess the problem is if it's Trick Room on the Gengar, but there's not really much I could do here. So I'm going to Foul Play the Rayquaza slot. and protect the Metagross, and we'll see how this goes. This also prevents me from taking a Shadow Ball right here, so we'll protect our Metagross here. It is a Shadow Ball going to come out into the Metagross slot, which is good. Foul play will be able to knock out the Rayquaza, and then it comes down to the last Pokemon, which I'm assuming has to be that Kyogre. Like, I just can't see anything else. And as long as I hit a Snarl on Kyogre, both my Pokemon should live a Water-type attack, which is absolutely huge here. And a Gengar has Destiny Bond. I'm not sure if it carries Protect. We'll find out, I guess. Here comes the Kyogre. Really comes down to this couple turns. Interested to see Gengar, though. Let's see. I'm assuming it's Sash anyway. Harris Primordial Sea activates. And luckily with how Destiny Bond mechanics work, the Gengar is not currently affected. We'll go for Snarl here. And a Bullet Punch into the Gengar slot to pick up the KO on Gengar, hopefully. Gengar reveals Protect, which I think is fine here. As long as we hit the Snarl, which we should be good. Maybe I should have went for Stomping. I just wasn't sure the Gengar had Destiny Bond Trick Room. Which is why I didn't want to make a... I didn't want to protect... I already protected Metagross anyway, and I didn't want to go for Stomping into Kyogre. We're going to see the Water Spout. How much is it going to do? Yeah, -1. Okay, yeah. Another Snarl should allow both my Pokemon to survive, actually. And then I could Bullet Punch the Gengar. Okay, so we should be good here. As long as we keep hitting these Snarls. Goes for the double fails, fortunately, so Bullet Punch will be able to get rid of the Gengar here. Nice, okay. Curse Body, don't think it's going to matter because I just click Stomping the next turn if I survive anyway. I need Yveltal to hit. Nice, okay, sweet. So Yveltal does hit the Snarl. Now, please don't crit. Ice Beam going to come out. I don't think this KO's at -2. Yeah. Nice, and no freeze either. We were able to eat our berry, and that should be a good game because now I can just keep going for Foul Play into Stomping Tantrum, and that with a combination of one more attack should be able to knock out the Kyogre. And yeah, Foul Play, Stomping Tantrum, and that should be able to finish off the Kyogre here with a combination of one more attack. And my opponent can't knock out both Pokemon unless you go for Origin Impulse and you double crit. Oh wow, actually we might be able to KO the Kyogre just by these attacks. Yeah, that's not a very bulky Kyogre, is it? So we're able to pick up a win. Fortunately, the Metagross Yveltal comeback was the thing. As my opponent rage quits, but yeah, able to come through. I think the Electro was huge, even though we were losing a lot of the reads. I feel like for like the first couple of the turns of the game, I felt like I started getting the position right after, and since my opponent never switched out to Rayquaza, I didn't have to worry about a Dragon Scent. And after, like, you know, after Rayquaza was able to come back in and fire a Dragon Scent, because that would have been scary because it would have outsped all my Pokemon and get that powerful attack off, which would have threatened my Rayquaza heavily. I don't think Sucker Punch and a Bullet Punch would have finished off the Rayquaza, and that would have forced me to double target it. The fact is, we were able to avoid the Destiny Bond shenanigans as well, which was really nice. And yeah, the fact we got that read on the Yveltal with the Twinkle Tackle Extreme Speed was pretty much the key there. If I didn't get that play right, I did lose the game. As we got Oliver from France, 16-17 rating as our second opponent of today. Bring an interesting team. Bronzong, Yveltal, Groudon, Hitmontop, Tapu Fini, Gardevoir. I feel like I forgot one more Mon. I said it right. Yveltal, Bronzong, Hitmontop, Tapu Fini, and Gardevoir. Yeah, I guess since I'm saying Yveltal, Groudon, Yveltal, I guess that's why. I could power through my opponent's team with the Tapu Koko option, with the Nature's Madness, or I could go more of a subtle route with the Mimikyu option. I have two possible plays I can make here. I'm really liking the... Well, my opponent doesn't have a switch in the Mimikyu, really. Like, a Mimikyu Groudon lead does so much against my opponent. I don't even like Metagross here. It does deal with the Gardevoir, but just... I feel like damage-wise, it just doesn't do enough. Yeah, I think I'm going to try the Mimikyu Trick Room route this time. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna go Mimikyu Groudon. I like Groudon. Yeah. Or maybe I just go Groudon Yveltal. Like, what does my opponent do to stop that? Well, I'm worried about it opposing Yveltal lead, I guess. So, yeah, Mimikyu Groudon with Yveltal and the Incineroar in the back. I think it's going to come down to whose Groudon's going to be faster, because my opponent looks like it's a Trick Room team. It looks like it's going to be Physical Groudon, because I assume Physical Groudon just because you have the Bronzong, and usually they like to run Gravity and Precipice Blades. So, let's see what my opponent does here. His Mimikyu Groudon will come out. And Tapu Fini Yveltal, okay. Z-move does knock out the Yveltal in one hit, so I wonder if my opponent would let me get the Z-move off. I wonder if it's Seed. No Misty Seed, okay. Groudon will Permavert. My best play is probably just a Swords Dance and... I mean, not Swords Dance. Play Rough and switch to Instant, I think? I also kind of want to double target the Yveltal with Earth Power just in case Groudon comes in, because I could see my opponent going to Groudon here. What's the play here? I think Instant is the play, though. I'm going to go Instant here, and I'm actually just going to play rough the Fini slot, I think. I really just want to call the Yveltal switching on to Groudon and go for the Earth Power in that slot, but I don't think it's worth it. I'm going to play with the Fini. It's a mid-ground play. It looked like Yveltal stayed in most likely, so I could have probably just got the Z-move off into Yveltal, which is super unfortunate here. But that's not too bad, I guess. I'm going to get damage on Fini, and getting damage on Fini is actually pretty huge for what I needed to. My Mimic is actually faster than both of these Pokemon, which is interesting. And wow, that did no damage. Oh, gonna come out. Alright, what's the Fini going for? Madness? I assume Nature's Madness. Icy Wind. That is really interesting. Okay. So this Fini's really slow. I don't think the Mimikyu had much speed investment. Like, I think it had 4. That means these Pokemon have absolutely no investment. I'm going to U-turn out the Fini, I think. Because Fini usually doesn't carry Protect. And I'm going to just attempt to go for the Z-move in Yveltal. Even if Yveltal protects, I think it's fine. But I feel like it's more likely he's switching to Groudon. But I do want to see if my opponent allows me a chance to get Yveltal. I would gladly take it. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do here. And since the Yveltal is super slow, I could probably just get in Groudon and click a Eruption. We're going to see the Foul Play and a Mimikyu, which won't pick up a KO. Madness too. Incineroar avoids though. And I just don't get it. My opponent, Mimikyu Z is an option here. And the fact is, my opponent just stayed in with both times and is allowing me to get the Z move off. So I'm going to be able to get rid of the Yveltal, I think. Unless this doesn't KO for some reason. I really feel like it should. Alright, let's see. I didn't imagine this KOs. If it doesn't, I'd be surprised. But, I mean, we're not intimidated at all. And this is still Adamant Mimikyu. Even though the Shadow Sneak was pretty disappointing a few episodes ago. Like, the fact is, this is a Z move. Yeah, Yveltal just drops there. So, Yveltal goes down, which is pretty big here. And, yeah, we'll go for a U-turn here into the Tapu Fini slot. And reposition. We could get our Groudon in, which I think is very likely the switch here. Or I could go Yveltal. I'm gonna go Groudon, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna go Groudon here. Because of the fact I think Groudon just pressures so much that my opponent could have. Like, if it's an opposing Groudon, like, I'm thinking this is a full Trick Room team at this point. Because the Fini's super slow, yeah, so Groudon's going to come out from my opponent's side. I guess the question is, how do I beat the Fini? Because I didn't bring the Tapu Fini. I didn't bring the Tapu Koko or the Metagross. I don't have great ways to deal with the Fini. So, is it worth me attacking the Tapu Fini slot right here? I don't think it is. I want to scout for Groudon Protect. Mimikyu basically did his job where I needed to KO the Yeah, Mimikyu did its job. I needed to KO the Yveltal, and that's what it did. So I'm able to get a Shadow Sneak off into the Feeny slot and just get some chip. I just want to scout for Protect from the Groudon. If it's a Protect, I see Wind play. Nope, no Protect. Okay. Here comes a Shadow Sneak. I see Wind, and then I guess just Precipice Blades, which is fine. Critical hit onto my Mimikyu, which is alright here, and Precipice Blades does come out, no surprise. Okay, then I could probably bring out Incineroar then. The following turn. Yeah, okay. Still alright here, though. If I can get rid of the... I'm just trying to figure out how do I get rid of the Feeny. Because Feeny is actually a really annoying Pokemon with the Pokemon I brought here. The problem is I'm worried about Haze. Like a following Haze play. I'm going to bring out the Incineroar, though. And I think I just click Fake Out into the Feeny slot. And Eruption, I want to say? Yeah, I'm going to go for Fake Out into Eruption, I think. Yeah, I just don't like how I decide to handle the Feeny. Because, like, I just didn't bring anything that handles the Feeny effectively. I'm going to Fake Out Eruption, though. Precipice Blades is not going to do too much damage at -1. And we're going to see the Groudon switch out. So somebody's catching Eruption here. And if it's the Gardevoir, oh, that's a win con for my opponent. Because that's the only thing that really deals with the Yveltal well. So, tracing my Desolate Land. Which, Intimidate wouldn't have done anything anyway. Fake Out going to come out on the Tapu Fini. We will go for an Eruption here. So my opponent trying to catch an Earth Power. It wouldn't have switched into Blades. Eruption. Ooh. Almost knocks out both Pokemon. Wait, the Feeny isn't Berry. So it's Z? It could be Z. I mean, what's stopping me from going for Earth Power and U-turn? I mean, Eruption and U-turn. Yeah, I'm going to go for Eruption U-turn. I just don't see any drawback with that play. Gardevoir going to stay into Mega Evolve right here. And I don't know. I feel like if this is a full Triggering team, the Gardevoir is probably slower than my Groudon. Maybe? It just protects here, which is fine. Yeah, that's fine. So we will go for an Eruption here to knock out the Feeny. The question is, I don't know how this end game's gonna go because this could get scary depending on sets. We don't know how fast the Groudon is on my opponent's side. And that's like something that's really concerning me right now. Yeah, that's something that's just really concerning me because if it is fast Groudon, but I feel like how my opponent's team's been built, I don't think this would be fast Groudon. I'm going to Earth Power the Gardevoir and U-turn out. Yeah. Because I don't want to switch Yveltal into Hyper Voice play. It looks like my Groudon's just faster. Or the Gardevoir just went for Triggering, which makes sense. So I'm able to get rid of the Gardevoir, which is nice here. And then Precipice Blades is going to come out, but that's not really that big of a deal. So Precipice Blades going to come out here. Knocks out my Incineroar, doesn't knock out my Groudon. The Nature's Madness Miss doesn't really look like it would have affected this game. We'll go into Yveltal here, and Yveltal with a foul play and then Earth Power with our Groudon since we're faster, unless we Speed Tie. But even if we Speed Tie, I think we'll be fine regardless, because 2 foul plays should be able to knock out this Groudon, I'd imagine. So yeah, Earth Power into the Groudon and foul play into the Groudon as well, and that should be a good game. So, don't think Incineroar was the right call. I do like the other 3 Pokemon I brought. I think Mimikyu, Yveltal, and the Groudon on my side was actually really nice here. But I don't think Incineroar was the play. It just really didn't do too much. It did get intimidated in the Groudon, don't get me wrong, but having someone to deal with the Tapu Fini, I felt like was better. Just dealing with the Tapu Fini would have been a lot better. I think maybe Tapu Koko. Even if we didn't have a switch in the ground type attacks other than the Yveltal, I think it was just better overall. Because, like, Incineroar just got in. Maybe one Intimidate. It wouldn't have mattered, though, if the Tapu Fini had Haze and it was faster than the Groudon. And Fake Up Pressure really just, I don't think, helped in this match. So, yeah, if I were to go back, I'd probably not bring the Incineroar. It just really didn't do too much. And I felt like my opponent just sacrificing the Yveltal was absolutely huge. The fact I was able to get the knockout, which I think my opponent just had a safe switch into Groudon. I feel like if my opponent just played safe most of the time, got Groudon next to Finian, I was probably going to be in trouble. So, yeah, I think if I had to look back, I think Metagross or Coco would have been better in that game. But hope that everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2019 Baek Battles. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like down below. Show support, leave a comment down below, and share this video with your friends. Otherwise, you can check out my other stuff down below in the description, such as my social media, side saves on my channel, and more. Also, the fact is, if you want to go check out Kazuki's team report and his Twitter, once again, those will be in the description down below. Be sure to answer the comment question of the day, which is what is your favorite Z-move animation, whether it's a custom one, or one of the standard ones, or both potentially. But otherwise, you can also check me out on my social medias down below in the description. And if you want to go an extra mile to support my content, there is my Patreon page and Twitch channel. I want to thank everyone who has supported me on those platforms. And if you want to go an extra mile to support me, you can go check those out down below. But otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, people. Until we battle again, I'll catch y'all later.